The hidden StuG 3G. Hey folks, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to War Thunder. Today, what I want to do is just talk about something interesting. Now, it's a concept that I want to put towards you guys if this would be something you would be interested in seeing on the channel further, and that is customization of vehicles. As we know, within War Thunder we have a wide variety of things that we can do with vehicles. Not only do we have different camouflages available for the vehicles, including user-made skins, we're also able to adjust camouflage condition, add decorations, and of course a bunch of decals onto the vehicles as well. So I wanted to take a deeper delve into this and try and recreate some cool looking vehicles, or at least I guess you could say somewhat more realistic vehicles. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking the StuG 3G and converting it into what I'm going to dub as the hidden StuG 3G. Now, this is inspired by, I don't know if anyone used to knows what this is, or has this even, but a good while back before War Thunder came out on consoles and so forth, there was a vehicle on World of Tanks called the Hidden, and it was a StuG platform vehicle which had a variety of different cosmetics to it. And it's one thing that I did really like about World of Tanks is that a lot of the premium vehicles were very cool, like the Fury and the Hidden and the Boilermaker, Sherman Firefly and so forth. But this StuG had house bricks over it, it had tarp, it had, I believe, camo netting, and overall, this thing looked really, really cool. It might have been a StuG 3F, I'm not entirely sure. If I can try and get a picture of it and put it on screen, I will. But I absolutely loved the look of this thing, and so what I've made here is an inspiration of this vehicle. And we are using up all of the decoration slots, we're not using any decals there, and I'll explain why. So let's go on how to make this then, and how we can get to making this thing if you guys want to use something like this. So, to start off, we get the standard vehicle. Now, what I am going to be using is I am going to be using a user-made skin. This is going to be the StuG 3 TISG 333 has Sturmartillerie Brigade 600 from 1944. So, this is what we're going to be using. I can't remember what crate this was in, but of course, if you can find it, then you can find it. I did get this out of one of the little crates because I'm a notorious gambler, and as a gambler, I believe that you should never end on a bad note. So there you go. If you don't have any of these camos now, I know that the StuG 3G Autumn 1944 looks alright as well, but I'm not personally a fan of this one. So if you don't have this, you could easily go with something like the Hinterland Tarnung camouflage, or any of the MAN or MNH camouflages. They will look just fine. But what you will need is obviously your camouflage of choice and whatever. In terms of modifications, I will say this, I would recommend that if you have them on, remove the add-on armor for now. Because if you remove the add-on armor, it will make it significantly easier when it comes to placing these bushes and different objects onto the vehicle itself, so make sure that you're doing that. So take them off initially, and then what you'll need to do is use bushes. I'm using olive bushes because in my opinion, I think these are the best bushes that you can really use. Either that or maybe something like pines, but I personally think these give a very nice colour and texture to them. So what I've got is, if you want to use this one, is we have the olive type A, and what I've done is I have essentially placed this over this section here, so just this next to the driver port. I'm not covering up the driver's port with this, you could if you really wanted to, but for, I guess, more for realistic purpose, and if you wanted to, say, go into the driver's view and see out the viewport there, then leave that here. Plus as well, it creates a nice little level here that all the grass, or sorry, the olive bushes come down to. Our second one is going to be this big one, the more longer one. And what we've done is we have placed this in a way a bit more further down. We've placed this at a further down angle than we would have done. And we've also placed it at an angle. Now, the only issue is this will stick up at the top here. So you'll notice that it will point up at the top. If you're not really fussed about that, then that's completely fine. It's up to you. But this is what we're going to use the Type C olive bush for. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to place it right in the middle here, pretty much in between the two on the top to kind of fill out and kind of connect the two bushes together so it blends in a bit nicer. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I have this rock here? Because obviously this can be used to blend in. I'm using the Husafell stone. If I'm not pronouncing that right, then my bad. But what I've had to do is traditionally this would have had the number 186 on it. And so what I've tried to do is I've positioned it in a way so that the numbers are actually hidden by the olive bush here. So as you can see, you can't really see the numbers. So it just looks like an ordinary brick. If you don't have this, then that's completely fine. You could probably slap something else there. You could probably put a box there if you wanted to, or you could just leave it or put another bush there if you wanted to. But obviously, I know that this is kind of very specific to if you actually have these items or not, but I'm fairly certain this was in the second or third battle pass, so that's that there. We then have, out of one of the events, we then have the Waffenhalter container, which we're putting on the back. I'm sure a lot of you have seen images of StuGs where they have a lot of equipment kind of stacked on the back section here of the vehicle. Obviously, there's no turret on the vehicle, so you can pretty much slap whatever you want on the back and, that'll be alright. Now, I did want to place this, the Waffenhalter container, I did want to place this more at a horizontal angle here, kind of situated on the back. And you could do that, but as you'll notice as I'm trying to place it, the placement here on the back of the StuG is very finicky. It doesn't want to go in, and it's because of all these little bumps here for the fume exhausts and the little hatches for the engine compartment. So it creates a few issues when it comes to placing them, but there's a nice little flat area here, so I just put it here on the side. And finally, to wrap things up, we have the BSA bicycle. I know that this is a British bicycle, but hey, it's just a folding bicycle, so you can put this on the back. I wasn't really sure what to put for a 6th slot, so I just put it here. Once again, the placement is very peculiar and it's very finicky, and it was a bit difficult to get in the right place, as you can see here, but overall was able to actually get it into a decent area there. So it's placed down pretty nice. If you don't have this, you could place, and you have it, you could just put a rifle on the back or on the side or on the top of the roof here. I did experiment with putting the new Maxim Tokarev MG. I tried to get it into a position where it could go through this hole here so that it looked like an actual MG position on the roof, but it didn't quite work very well. Overall though, I think this looks pretty darn good. I'm very happy with this and I will be keeping this. Obviously it's not a fully realistic thing, it's inspired by a World of Tanks premium vehicle, but I still think it looks pretty good. We're not using any decals purely because if you look around, we're using a user-made skin. We've already got all the decals necessary and we've got the kill markings on the barrel and so forth. But if you were to put any decals on this, say if you were using the default, the standard skin, or say if you were using Hinterhalt Tarnung, I would just go around and put the Balkenkreuz emblem on just the sides here. Just, of course, just slap one right there, mirror it, and so forth. But overall, do let me know what you think of this. If you think this looks cool, please do let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to see more videos like this on other vehicles, or if you have any vehicle, I guess you could say, builds or customizations that you have that are cool and you would like me to cover, send them me. I don't know how you'll send them me, but we'll figure that out in the future. But nonetheless, I hope you did enjoy, and please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.